Hello investors and traders. Today I'll speak about 3 dividend stocks, 3 dividend cheap stocks with a dividend yield more than 4%. So let's start with the first company for today. It's Pfizer. It's a healthcare company, pharmaceuticals and healthcare technology. So first of all, we see that the dividend yield a little bit higher than the 4%. Let's check its chart. So here in my mind it was an impulse. So the first, the second, the third, the first, the correctional one, and the fifth. Here it was triangle. So most probably it was impulse. Then look, here I'm expecting to see ABC move. I think here it finished, so it was A, B, and C, and now the white lines. It's most probably another impulse. Look, it was the first wave, the second, the third, and the first. This one is correctional wave. Usually, if it's really an impulse, we may see one sharp correctional wave and one flat. So in this case, the second, of course, is a sharp one, and the fourth is most probably the flat. But then I'm expecting to see the fifth wave. It's higher than the third one. So in this case, I would like to see the Pfizer stock higher than 14 bucks. And in this case, the potential to grow is more than it's about 50%. So by the way, here we have a major support level, the green line. So we may see Pfizer maybe a little bit lower, but anyway the dividend yield now is now already very impressive. And by the way, from the technical point of view, the momentum indicator, the RSI, now it's 30, so it's telling us that the stock already oversold. So now it's can be a very nice time to buy Pfizer. Let's have a look on the fundamental parameters. We see the total score is 94, quite high figure, very impressive. The financial stability, you see that debt to EBITDA ratio less than 1, interest coverage 30, so very strong position. And by the way, the Altman's score is 3.4, so the probability of default for this company in the future years very low. So any problems with the financial stability? Let's check the marginality. The total score is 9 from 10, so gross is 65, and net margin is more than 30%, so it's really a lot. It's like the IT companies like Google, like Apple, very impressive figures. The last 3-year growth rate of the EBITDA and the revenue was about 30%, and the valuation now, we see that P ratio now is about 7, and PS only the 2.3. Let's have a look on the liquidity ratio. The current ratio, quick ratio, is about higher than 1, so it's also any problems with the liquidity. And the dividend, of course, the dividend. So we see that forward dividend yield is more than 4%. The payout is already 30%, so it means that the company pays as dividend 30% from its net income. And by the way, the 3-year dividend growth rate is 3.6%. So we see that the company, the Pfizer, the last years even continue to increase its dividend payments. So we see here a nice company with strong fundamental parameters. And why I'm telling this that it's cheap? Look, the P ratio historically for the last 6 years, we see it's about 7 now. Historically we saw P ratio of 20, of 14, or even here it was about 13, so 7 P ratio. For the last 6 years, it's the lowest number. And PS ratio, price per share, is only 2.2. So it was historically 3, even higher than 4. It was close to 5. Now it's the lowest parameter for the last I guess 6-7 years. So it's really very cheap now. The fundamental, the technical analysis of the sold, and of course a dividend yield of more than 4%. Of course, it's very nice to receive it. And by the way, the market cap is 228 billion bucks. So Pfizer is quite huge and big company in the stock market. Let's move to the next company for today. It's Philip Morris. It's a tobacco company. So we see its dividend yield more than 5%. For the technical analysis, in my mind, it was here an impulse, then it was ABC move, a correctional wave. By the way, it finished at the fourth wave of our impulse, so most probably here it may finish, and then of course I'm expecting this stock to see a little bit higher. Let's check it fundamental parameters. We can see that it's a very stable company. The revenues is continue to grow, and the marginality, look at the marginality, it's very impressive figures. The last data for the 2022 is 28%, so it's a lot. It's like IT companies. The market cap is 152 billion bucks, and of course we see it's a historical dividend. It was in 2016 4.5%, 5%. 1 year it was very close to 7%, and now of course it's around 5%. So very impressive dividend yield and very stable company. If we look at the projections of revenue, the annual for the last year, the company earned 30 billion bucks, and this year it's expected to earn the revenue 35, then 37, and 39 billion bucks in 3 years from now. So Philip Morris, a very stable company, very high marginality, and of course the dividend yield also very impressive. So for, as for me, I think it's also very nice and good time to purchase this stock. And the last stock for today is Walgreen Boots Alliance, WBA, it's ticker. So dividend yield is more than 5%. If you look at the chart, so here I think last 7 years it was just a range between 35 to 87 bucks, and if you'll check it, it was like a waves. It was the first wave, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So by the way, usually the fourth is the largest wave in impulse, so here it looks very organic. Here I guess that the correction may be finished, the fifth wave, so also it's the lower border of this range. So here I think that it can be stopped for the correction in this stock, and then we may see this stock much lower. Let's have a look on the fundamental parameters. So we see that annual basis the revenue is very stable. It's show us a slight growth. By the way, the profitability last 3 years continue to grow, and the dividend yield also grow. If the dividend yield was only 2% 7 years ago, so now 2020 4.8, 3.7, and now the last year it was 5.4%. So we see a very high dividend yield. The EPS, earning per share, is in the annual basis continue to grow, and also the revenue for this company may show a nice increasement in the future years. Also, this company is a pharmaceutical company. It has a drugstore in his assets. So this area in this sector, I guess, and I think may show a nice increasement and nice growth in the future years. And also please pay attention to the PS, price per share. It's the lowest for near the lowest for last 7 years. It's 0.23. It means that for the 23 cents you may buy $1 of revenue of this company. So in my mind, of course it's very cheap. So the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, and the dividend strategy, the dividend yield of this company, for me is very appealing, very attractive. So this one of the reasons that now I'm continue to buy WBA. So it was a video about 3 dividend stocks to buy right now. In my channel you have a lot of videos about dividend stocks, about stock market analysis, technical and fundamental analysis. If you like this video, of course press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you on the next time. Bye.